Well, one that I kind of wanted to talk about. He's not out on the track now. Had that bad luck. Let's talk about Marcus Kramer a little bit because Marcus is a very, very good road course racer. Of course, this isn't a road course today, but let's talk about his stats.
Marcus, phenomenal guy. He lives in my home province here in Alberta, up in Canada. He actually lives just a couple hours drive away from me, and really good driver. He's been with us since the first season of this league. Jimmy has as well, but he's always in TeamSpeak, always helping my sharing setups, always willing to help people with lines. Heck, even in qualifying, he didn't really care about where he qualified, so he was giving everybody else in the F1s a tow around the lap so that they could get better lap times for their qualifying. So, really giving person, really conscientious about other drivers. Can't say enough about him. He's here just for the fun and the companionship of being in the league and racing with other people that like driving the same style. Actually, out of the guys that we've talked about right now, with the exception of Jimmy, he's the next highest person on the track right now. Well, not technically on the track at the moment, but in this event. Mm-hmm. He's sitting with 236 corners per incident, which secures him in what I call an inhuman status, which is right between pro and alien level. Really high, but not quite high enough that it's almost unattainable. So he's working his way up there. Mm-hmm. He's another one with quite a few events under his belt. He's got 9 events under his belt, over 12,000 corners, and he's kept it pretty safe with only 51 incidents in those 12,000 corners, so really good that way. Jumping over to the standings, I believe he's ran in all 3 series. So for starting with the longest one, our Iditarod series, which is 5.2 hours, he is currently sitting in 3rd place right now, right behind Jimmy by exactly 20 points. So Jimmy again is going to make his lead get even larger this week, I believe.
Yeah, Marcus won't get no points for today, will he?
No, he didn't manage to get half of the overall leader's laps, so unfortunately that's going to drop him. For this series that we're broadcasting right now, Marcus is currently in 5th place, tied with Brian Herring with 45 points. Now, Brian's not in this one, nor is Marcus in here either, so that just leaves it open to Lewis Van, who might be able to jump up some points and maybe take that away from him. Right now it looks like Lewis Van is 23 points behind Marcus, and no, he won't be able to take over Marcus's spot, but so Marcus is safe in his spots in the series so far, but Lewis will definitely be catching up to him.
We just had a little touch on the track there. I wanted to go back and take a look at that because that looked pretty nuts right there. I want to go back and well, we'll get there. Looked like Lewis Van and Nicholas Davis had a little touch right there in the turn, a little tire smoke. I don't know what happened here. We'll see in just a minute. It looks like Lewis Van may have come down the hill. He did. And and a little touch right there, a little net code in too, and that's what we were talking about there a minute ago about him being from Australia and a different internet, and that could cause a little net coding between them two, but they did touch.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it myself. Yeah, from my vantage point here, it looks like is blinking a little bit there, so the net code is definitely coming into play, and it looked like they just were weaving a bit and just came close enough that it decided to not like it that much. Yeah,
I don't think there was any damage on either of them. Could have been maybe just a slight wheel damage, but it was just like a quick tire smoke and it was over, so I didn't even see Nicholas's car even bob around, so all right, anyhow, back to Bill Gilbert. Now, there's one that we wanted to talk about when we get down to him. He's out here running the Mazda today. Now, he had that little bit of trouble with you earlier, but he's back out running. What do you got to say about him?
Bill Gilbert, this is actually his first official race with us in the league. So I don't really know very much about him. I do know that he is one of the referrals from Layla from one of her other leagues that she runs, and talked him into coming into this. He's been running quite a lot in the Miata for the practices this week, and it's really strong driver, really good driver, nice solid lines, willing to give and take where needed. Just with him being new to the league, I don't really have anything to say about him other than so far it looks good, and it looks like he has the potential to go pretty far in the league.
Yeah, all right.
I don't have any stats on him yet because, of course, it's his first race with us. So
Very good, very good. All right, one other driver that's not on the track we need to probably talk about a lot is that little guard dog. Let's talk about some of his stats.
Crap all over the place. Wow, all of my... Hold on a second, my sim just got really, really ridiculously loud for some reason. There we go, pause that. Myself, well, I started the league with the main reason of I was getting bored of running the same track all the time, same cars all the time. So I started this league in hopes that people would like the constant variation. And a lot of the leagues that I was looking at when I was looking to just join a league was looking for something that would have one, variation, and two, would have some focus on safety other than just like drive-through penalties or something like that. Because there's a lot of leagues out there that'll say that they penalize, like give drive-throughs and all that for unsafe driving, but there's nothing actually reflected in the points system. Whereas my league so far is the only one that I've been able to find that actually penalizes you in the points for incidents. So it's just something that I wanted to create myself because it gives that constant variation. We always have different vehicles coming onto the track every week. We have different layouts coming out on the tracks every week too. It's just one of those things where I wanted something different. Myself, I don't care if I come in first or last or however. I just want to race with a bunch of people. Stats-wise though, if I pull myself up, I am... there. Trying to find myself here. I am tied right now with Jimmy Eifling for how many races or events ran this season. We're both tied at 16, with this one here being 17, so we'll both have 17 races under our belt. We both have over 20,000 corners, but Jimmy is excelling me in safety. He has 328 corners per incident. I'm sitting down a bit lower at 266 corners per incident, which is still an alien level performance, but not quite as high as Jimmy or Brian or Kevin or any of them guys who are very exceptional drivers. I do have a lot more mishaps than a lot of the other guys though. Like I have 77 incidents compared to Jimmy's 63, and we've ran almost the exact same amount. So definitely Jimmy's much safer than me. I do run in all three series, and I'm doing alright in most of them. For the Iditarod series, which is our longest running one, I'm in first place right now, but the only reason why I believe that is because I've actually attended and went right to the end for every single one of the races. Lots of the other guys have either missed a race here and there, and in a way it's kind of unfair because I have the time to be able to do the entire race, but that's the way the point system is the same all through all three series. So if you attend all the races, you get the bonuses. If you finish the races, you get the bonuses. So that being said, there's a mere 10-point difference between Jimmy and I for first place in that 5.3 hour series. So Jimmy could easily take that over just with some clean driving and completing the races themselves. Mm-hmm. Coming into this series that we're running right now, I'm second place to Jimmy with a mere 4-point margin. Now Jimmy running in this one right now and still running cleanly, with me being out, he's going to surge ahead by quite a few. I'm going to say at least by the end of this race he's probably going to be close to 20 points ahead of me in the running for that series. So I'm doing alright, second place. Darren's also in here though. He might be able to overrun me, so I might actually be slipping down to third by the end of this race for this series. I'm popping down to the little series. That's where I do a little bit worse. Mind you, I generally take some the more dangerous vehicle, or the most dangerous vehicle for me in the series, just because it's one that I want to have fun with. And I'm sitting currently in 5th place with 50 points in the little 90-minute races, which means I'm a good 21 points away from the lead in that series. So I'm not doing too bad, but I think most of the points that I get are just because of the fact that I have the ability to attend every single race, whereas some of the other guys just don't have that ability.
Very good, very good. All right, well, that's a lot of information we've asked you, and man, I'm telling you what, I even have a little more information in my head about some of these drivers because you know them better than I do. You're out there racing with them. I'm just watching them race, so
yeah.
It's nice to know, and I'm sure I can't remember all them stats, but very cool that at least you've explained a lot about how these drivers run, where their position is in the league, and it means a lot. It means a lot for people to understand why they run as good as they do, and some of them run better than others, but they're all good drivers. Safety being the #1 goal out here.
Yeah, most definitely. Another thing that I believe Lewis was trying to touch on last broadcast is if you look at the driver numbers, the numbers are actually representative of their status within the league. With anybody starting with a 9 is a new recruit, so they haven't had their 3 races with us, and they're basically just new members to the league. So looking at the roster right now, we have 4 people in this race right now that are all new recruits to the league. They're fresh to us. They haven't managed their first 3 races, and they're just trying to whittle away and find their position in the league. From there, very rarely will you see a number that starts with an 8-6, and what those guys are people who just haven't had the ability to maintain the equivalent of a rookie 3.0 status of safety. So those guys are on a very limited amount of time, which is why you don't see very many of them, because normally once somebody slips into there, they have a couple of races to get themselves back up to rookie at least before they get booted out of the league. Nobody really wants to get booted out of the league. Everywhere else from there, the very first number of the driver numbers denotes what rank they are, starting with 8s being rookie, 7s being Class D, 6s being Class C, 5s being Class B, 4s being Class A, 3s being Pro level, 2s being... I got something mixed up. But basically the gist is, the lower the very first number is, the higher class driver they've been averaging for corners per incident. Just like iRacing's SR system is what we use. Actually, we use the exact same numbers that iRacing uses for their SR system for the rankings within our league. So instead of just denoting everybody Class A, Class B, Class C, because you can't really see that in the league races, we do that via the vehicle numbers. All the drivers are allowed to choose the last 2 digits for their numbers, but the first digit is denoting where they are in classes, with the lower the number being a higher class or a safer driver. Anybody like Jimmy Eifling and myself in this race, although I'm not on the track, but Jimmy Eifling has a single-digit number. Those ones are reserved for the aliens, or anybody who can achieve over 260 corners per incident average for their entire history. So they're the only ones that are allowed to pick their number entirely. Anybody else that's low 256 corners per incident then gets the 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on assigned to the very beginning of their numbers, denoting which class they are from best to worst. So that's a quick and easy way for viewers to see, okay, this guy's new to the league, this guy's fairly safe, this guy's safer, and so forth. All of those rankings also get redone and reassessed every week. At the end of the week, once the final 1.5 hour race is done, and I tally all the stats for the events that weekend, I reassess everybody in the league and adjust the driver numbers every week, dependent on if they've gotten safer or they're driving a little bit worse or anything like that. So if you see somebody like right now, this week, Lewis is 351. If he drives a really clean race and all of his races are clean this week, he might be 251 next week, meaning he's gone up a rank. So the numbers aren't static for the entire season. It actually jumps around and changes depending on your performance through the season.
Very good.
I forgot what else I was going to talk about, so I'll let you run through what's going on in the track.
All right, well, really not a whole lot changed out here. We've got, the 3 top F1 cars here still running together. Louis Van leading them right at the moment here. Layla in second, and Nicholas Davis in third. Let's go back here. Jimmy Eifling leading the top of his class in the BMWs, 4th place. Darren Kewen right behind him. Kind of lost the draft just a little bit. But running second in his class in the BMW. Scott Fosbender in 6th overall, 3rd in his class. Has come down pit road again. So might be for the last time today that he will see pit road. Some of these guys have not. They've only been on pit road once, and that was during caution. So they may have enough fuel to go the rest of the way. All right, Wheel Damage running in 7th, doing a great job out here in the VW. Only one in his class out there, so he will win his class today. Congratulations to him.
Marcus Kramer. Wheel damage there. It looks like he did surpass Marcus Kramer for laps, so he has pushed Marcus Kramer down to 8th position overall. And Bill Gilbert, if he keeps on running cleanly, he only has 3 more laps before he takes over Marcus. So that'll push Marcus right down to 9th.
Right, yeah. 3 more laps. So long ways for him to go around here. 3 more laps. Running about 130 mile an hour. He's got a little damage on the front end of that car from when you and him tangled, but he's still got some good speed in that. If he can just hang in there for 3 more laps and it doesn't blow up on him, he should be okay.
Looks like he's running pretty steady too, so.
All right, that pretty much goes around the track, and let's see, we'll get back up to the leader here real quick. Louis Vance continuing to lead. Nicholas Davis now in second, and Layla in third. So we're going to take a quick break here, and we will be right back, okay? So hang loose a minute. All right, we are back here live, and it looks like we missed it here, but we had Layla Wilson and Louis Van both pitted. Got fuel. I'm not sure if they took tires or not, but they know they did get fuel to make it the rest of the way. So, but thanks for. Go ahead.
I was just going to mention while we were on break there, Nicholas and Lewis ended up hitting rev limiter or something like that and coming into contact. Nicholas ended up with a bit of front splitter damage. I'm just going to let him know here that it looks better. Nicholas, it looks like it is straight now.
Very good, very good. Yeah, we don't want to see damage on these because it just affects them so bad out there, aerodynamics being so important. But you know, they're coming up here on our leader, Nicholas. I'm not sure, but okay, they are still on the same lap. So yeah, I believe Nicholas must have pitted just before them.
Yeah, Nicholas came in first and was getting a bit of repairs, and I believe Lewis came in just after, fueled up and took off right away, but it's still on the same lap, so
yeah,
they managed to come in at the same time and leave at almost the same time as well.
Very good, very good. So all these guys have been on pit road now. So let's go back through one more time here, because it looks like Jimmy Eifling is off, or is he on pit road?
I can
don't see him.
He's off altogether.
Well, what the heck?
Gonna back up and see if I can see what happened to him. Doesn't look like anything damage-wise.
And he doesn't appear to be in TeamSpeak either, so...
he hasn't been in TeamSpeak for a while.
Okay.
Not too sure what's up with that. But it doesn't look like there was any damage. Maybe he's just taking a break.
Hey, Izzy, how you doing? He said hey to me, so I was just saying hey back. But yeah, we don't know what happened to Jimmy Eifling. That's going to cost him, well, probably a couple of positions if wheel damage can get up there and pass him. Wheel damage, he might be able to do it. Not sure. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on that. But Scott Fosbender definitely going to pass up Jimmy Eifling here in a couple more laps. And that would be for position. Coming up on wheel damage here. They do pass him cleanly. And running back here, Bill Gilbert, boy, he gets passed up. Man, oh man, I'll tell you what, if you wouldn't be looking in your rearview mirror right then, dog, you know, driving that Mazda like that and those F1s come up on you, holy smokes, it would just scare the crap out of you.
It's unbelievable. That was the first thing I noticed when we were doing our practices is when you're driving that Miata and having them F1s coming up on you, you basically feel like one of the extras that, like in a car chase scene, you feel like one of the extra vehicles with all the cars zipping around you.
Man,
that's exactly what it feels like, and especially with the speed difference between the F1s and the Miatas, your rear view mirror is next to useless because by the time you see it, they're already past it.
Yeah, definitely, yep. Well, Layla Wilson back out in the lead right now as these three still sticking together, all three on the same lap. And that's good. You pretty much want to be on the same lap with, you know, the same type of cars, or you're not going to finish well. But they're running 1, 2, 3 here. All top 3 overall and top 3 in their class. So
not too sure what happened to Jimmy there.
Did he leave the server?
Doesn't look like he left the server, but he is off track, so I wonder if he's just taking a break.
Could be, could be. But that moved Darren Kewen right up to the 4th place real quick. I'm sure he's probably happy about that, but he's on pit road now. Looks like he needs to make one more pit stop. He's got plenty of time. He's gosh, he's like about 6 or 7 laps ahead of Scott Fosbender. So he can take his time, come down pit road, top off that tank with fuel. Takes a long time to fill up these BMWs. I did notice that.
Yeah, unlike the F1 or anything like that, they don't really have any real speedy ways of doing it.
Yeah, the F1s, man, it's like you can do 4 tires and fuel and be out of there in about 8 seconds. So, but Darren Kewen's still on. Maybe he took a break, but he's still on pit road.
Nope, he's just taking off right now.
There he goes. Fosbender getting passed up here by the leaders. And he is trying to pick up that one more position. If he can get by Jimmy Eifling here in another, I think another 2 laps, he will pass Jimmy Eifling. And that'll put him in 5th overall, 2nd in his class. So a little less than 1 hour to go here, folks. Talladega's the track. 5 classes that they're running out here tonight. We've got the VW, the Mazda, the BMW, and the F1. I think I've got all of them, didn't I?
Yep, I do believe so.
Mazda.
The only one that's not shown up today is the Mustang.
Right, Mustang did not. Nobody ran the Mustang today.
Just a point to note here, I was looking, the difference between the 3 F1s that are running right now, being Nicholas Davis, Leela Wilson, and Lewis Van, the difference between their fastest lap is only 0.06 of a second difference between the 3 of them.
That's pretty amazing. Out there running.
And even their last lap, there's only a mere 0.05 of a second difference between that. So they're running neck and neck, running very, very close times all the way through.
But yeah, Layla, she's still out there leading Lewis Van and Nicholas Davis. I don't know, you know, coming down to the end of this here, whether Lewis is going to have something for Layla, or if Nicholas is going to come from back and pass both of them. You know, you just don't know. They could be holding something back, but they have been hanging right there together for pretty much, well, they have been for the whole race. Well, it's right on board here with Nicholas and see what's going on with him. We can definitely hear him pick up speed once he gets out of the turn and into the draft. Boy, oh boy, does he ever pick up speed.
Oh yeah, it's also the coming up on the front stretch there just before the tri portion. With a prevailing wind, you do pick up quite a lot of speed, and even with the F1s being all by themselves, you'll notice as they go around the track, they slow down a bit on the back stretch, and then they all speed up coming up around the front stretch. And it's kind of interesting to hear, especially if you're on an overhead view and that, where it's basically constant camera. You can hear them literally all pick up speed at the same time, all slow down at the same time as they go around with the prevailing wind. Right now we have gusts going, I'm in Celsius and metric here, so it's 26 degrees Celsius, with gusts jumping from about 5 kilometers per hour up to about 15 kilometers per hour. So depending on the lap, you might get a bit more wind than another. So definitely something that's taking effect on the lap times there. If you can catch that good gust at the right time is when you'll get a good run on everybody else, but if you don't catch that gust and the tailwind at the right time, you'll just be sitting there struggling to get around.
There, Lewis, he takes over the top position. Layla sticks it down in on here on second. Lewis kind of went into turn 3 there and had a little bit of a nose up under her, and she had to either give way or they would touch. So she ducks it down in behind him, trying to maintain that draft. And Nicholas hanging on right here in third. Them 3 definitely the class of the field today.
Looks like Jimmy is back into pits. I'm just going to double check here. Anything. Yes, it looks like he is back on pits.
Very good, very good.
As long as Scott Fassbender is in the pits as well. And he's just coming out of the pits right now. So Jimmy is back on track. That'll keep him from far down. Be able to catch up to Bill Gilbert there. Well, that being said, Bill Gilbert has quite a few laps on him, so I guess Jimmy was off the track for quite a while.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I'm showing Jimmy about 38 laps down right now. Bill Gilbert, let's go back to Bill Gilbert.
Is 58 down right now.
Yep, 58, so a lot of laps down. But the one that's led the most out front right now, Louis Van, has led 82 laps. So
yeah,
that's
doing
pretty.
a phenomenal job.
He sure is.
Like Nicholas Davis has led 22 laps, and Leela has managed 60. The only other person that led any laps but is no longer currently in the running right now is Marcus, who led 10.
Yeah, Fassbender's still on pit road. That did cost him a position out on the track as Jimmy Eifling got back by him now.
Look like there's any damage on Fassbender though, but having a better look. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of crumple damage on the front end. And a bit on the back, so I'm wondering if he hit a wall there. I'm going to try backing up and see what happened. I'll let you keep up with what's going on there, and I'll have a peek at what happened to Fassbender here.
Alright, so all three of these F1s are just having a blast here, racing with each other. Coming down to 52 minutes left in the race. Layla in second, right behind Louis Van, or well, I should say they're side by side right now. Layla trying to do it up there by herself. And now it looks like Nicholas may try to catch back up to him and wants to make it a three-car battle. Layla down on the inside of Louis Van just to go, and they touch. Louis not giving her any room there. And now he goes way up on the high side. Layla back up front. Louis ducks it in behind her to maintain that draft. Boy, they are so close to touching right now. And Nicholas Davis coming down pit road. Should be his final pit stop of the day. He is off a little bit of pit sequence from Louis Van and Layla. And let's see how fast he can get off the pit road. And he's away, so just a splash of gas. Splash of gas and go.
As for Fassbender, I went back a good dozen laps, and I don't know what's there, so he might just be taking a little bit of a break as well. I did notice a little bit of damage, don't know where that came from, but nothing in the last dozen or so laps, so it might have been earlier on, and he's just finally, once he ran out of fuel, decided to stop and take the time to fix it.
Well, I hope if Layla does bring this to victory lane today, I hope we can get a word in with her, whether it be on the track or whatever, but hopefully
well, she is in TeamSpeak, and...
She is?
Yes, she is.
Okay, what... Oh, okay, I see her now. Huh. Alright, well, that's good.
I've been talking her into coming into TeamSpeak for our races quite often lately. She doesn't like talking, but...
And she
yesterday
entered...
for the... Go ahead.
She interviews so good, you know.
Oh yeah. She says that she doesn't like talking, but anytime somebody can get her to talk, she does phenomenally. Just like she is on track.
Yep.
Phenomenally on track, but she very much downplays her abilities. Looks like Fassbender is just getting ready to get out of the pits here. His tires are starting to wiggle around. Hear him revving a bit. There might have been some more damage or something than we knew.
He is third in his class in the BMW right now, as Jimmy Eiffeling got back out there on the track and is running back up in the fifth, 39 laps down to the leader. But he is back in second in his class behind Darren Kewen. Darren Kewen coming up on him pretty quick. Darren running in fourth, doing a great job out there in the BMW.
Oh yeah. Darren's fairly solid in pretty much any vehicle you put him in. He does tend to prefer lots of the more stable style cars I've found. Whereas Dwayne Benzinger, if there is a open wheel, that's what you'll find him in. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's an open wheel, he'll be in it. And yep, Fassbender is just starting to move on the pits, so he's about to come out. Very slowly, but he's coming out.
Alright, he is back on the track. Good deal. Alright, let's go back. Wheel Damage still running around here. Hope he's awake. Wheel Damage, if you can hear me, I know you're watching in Twitch, but if you can hear me, wake up. Time to wake up. We're getting down to the end of this thing. Coming to 45 minutes to go.
Like there's a good battle going on here with Lewis Van and I believe Layla.
Oh yeah, that's a great battle. Well, Wheel Damage, I don't want you to wreck, but if you're listening, on the straightaway, give me a little wiggle as a wave. On the straightaway, do it on the straightaway. I want to see a little wiggle there, so I know you're listening.
Make sure he's alive.
Yep. Make sure you're awake. Just wiggle around a little bit so I know you're awake.
That's the funny thing about that Volkswagen is it being a diesel, it redlines at like 4,300 RPM, and even in sixth gear, that brings you to 215, 216 kilometers per hour. Even with a tailwind or draft, you can't get anywhere past that. I think the most you can push out of it with tailwind and draft is 217 kilometers per hour. Not sure what that is in miles, but there's nothing really that you can do. You can hold that steady speed even without the draft by yourself. So it's really, you just go round and round and round. It doesn't use very much fuel because it's a low RPM. So quite literally, like I was saying earlier, in that Jetta, he can do this entire race on the same set of tires and the same full first tank of fuel.
Wow. Yeah,
he does not need to touch pit road at all.
He gave us a little wiggle there, so we know that he's listening. Great job out there, Wheel Damage. Good job, buddy. He's texting and driving again.
And one thing that might be interesting for the viewers to see here is maybe if you go into the cockpit view of Build there, so that you can see what it looks like when these F1s come flying by you when you're sitting in the slower car in the class.
Yeah, let me do that.
It's just something phenomenal to see.
Where is Bill? Is he not on the track? No.
Oh crap, where did he go? Okay, let's jump into with Wheel Damage there.
Yep.
He's actually driving on the track.
Got a pretty dirty windshield there, Wheel Damage.
Well, not having to pit, there's no point going into pit just to clean your windows, so...
Well, he's got plenty of laps ahead. He could stop and pit and get that windshield clean. There you go. There's an F1 that went by him. Nicholas Davis went by him pretty fast.
The pair of Lewis and Leela should be coming by him pretty soon here too. Let's see if they split them. Yeah,
So
looks like they're gonna split them.
Get an idea just how fast they are compared to him. There you go. Wow. That's flying.
They actually left quite a lot of lot of room between them too, so getting later on in the race, nobody wants to make a wreck, but during the practices, these guys were within a couple inches away from the car on both sides, and it made it quite the thrill for the practices.
Well, I'll tell you what, it sure does give you a good perspective of just how fast those cars are. Now there's Darren Kewen going by him in the BMW, which is quite a bit faster than these. Let's go up there and ride along with Darren. And
I think they already went by him.
Yeah, he already did, but
we can go for a lap with them and see how they split them.
Sure thing. Let's do that. I'm going to get down there to the cockpit view on Darren's car.
It doesn't matter what vehicle you're in. Them F1s, when they go by, it's just zoom, gone.
Yep.
Especially with the lineup that we have this week.
Let me know when they're coming up on him so we can be all ready here to watch.
Should be pretty soon here. I'm just going to drop this down a bit and get a better view.
Riding on board here with Darren Kewen, waiting for them F1s to fly by him just to see how fast they go by him compared to his speed. He's doing about 160 here on the backstretch. Coming into the turns.
Getting ready for it.
Slows down a couple of mile an hour.
And there they go. Oh, that was wheel damage that just split. So they should be coming up on Darren and Scott pretty soon.
Okay. Yeah, we're waiting. You said there they go, and I thought, well, what the heck? I ain't live or what?
Yeah, I forgot that it was wheel damage they were coming up against.
There they go. There goes Nicholas by. How much?
Just picking up speed.
Okay. Waiting for the leaders to go by here.
There they go.
Pretty good. Not bad.
Apparently it decided to change. Wrong screen here.
So Darren Kewen out here, top of his class, running 4th overall in the BMW, doing a super job. Jimmy Eifling back here in 5th. Many more laps down, I believe about 15 laps down further than Darren is. And he's down on the, man, he's like way down on the apron here. What's he driving, the apron? I think he's trying to stay off of the surface there for the leaders to come around. No, he's coming down pit road. All right, Jimmy Eifling down on pit road.
I wonder if he's having some issues there. That'll be a couple times that he's been on pit road.
Yeah. Well, keep an eye on him, dog, and let me know if anything happens to him. But all right, Scott Fosbender in 6th, 3rd in his class, but 6th overall out here in the BMW as well.
He took it right off the track. He's behind pit wall.
Fosbender will get that position away from him here before much longer. Wheel damage out here in 7th. Running about 54 laps down to the leader. And it looks like that's all that's on the track. Everybody else has left.
Looks like we lost Billy Gilbert, Jimmy Eifling, Marcus Kramer, myself, and, well, you're broadcasting, so you never touched it. Don't know what's going on. No.
Oh, Nicholas Ward quite a ways behind. He's actually Actually, just a little ways ahead of our leaders, Layla Wilson, and now Lewis Van is our leader. And again, these two have been racing it up here, coming down to the end of this. Lewis blinking like a son of a gun, man. I can't hardly stay on him. He blinks too much.
Yeah, that's one of the issues with him being on Australia there, is it kind of makes it a bit difficult for him to maintain a solid connection. Like, if Jimmy stays off for another 6 laps, Wheel Damage will actually take over that spot.
Yeah.
The Jetta will be ahead of pretty much every other class of vehicle, at least one of every other class.
Wow.
Phenomenal job by Wheel Damage. I'm actually going to be running the Jetta for tonight's race. I was originally thinking of the F1, but I find on tracks like this where you're right at red line all the time, the F1 tends to give me a headache real quick.
Oh yeah.
To the constant drone, so.
Yep, that whining, yep.
I found that's what I had the most difficulty with, even in the practice sessions that we had, is after about half an hour I'd start getting a major headache from them. So I figured, you know what? I'm not going to run it. I'll just run on something that I haven't ran. And actually, in all the practices, Jetta is actually the one that I had 0 incidents. Every other vehicle I had at least an incident or 2 throughout the week. The Jetta I ran a couple times and didn't have a single incident through any of the practices. So, might be a nice safe car to just put around and have some fun with. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we can get a few more people in it and see if there's a bit of a battle to go there.
Well, you ought to tell everybody out there on the track, dog. You can talk to them. I can't. Tell everybody to make sure that they're waking up here, because we're coming down to the end of this. 37 minutes left in the race. Make sure they are awake.
There. I just took the in-sim volume off because it was getting loud and overbearing you. I can still hear their chat and everything, though, so if something comes up, I can catch on that.
Yeah. So, yeah, Wheel Damage is about to pick up that position from Jimmy Eifling. He's only got a couple more laps, and
4 more laps.
Yeah, and he will pass him up. So I mean that's.
I say Lewis and Leela are doing a phenomenal job. Too bad Nicholas got a little bit further behind there. I'm not too sure what happened there for him to get behind, but it'd be nice for him to catch up somehow. But the way Leela and Lewis are going, I don't think he'll be able to get up there in time.
Yeah, this is these two really racing it up hard up here, up in front right now.
Scott's actually doing good for the race. He's having much better luck this race than he has in his last 2, so it's very good for him.
Yeah. Yeah, these two, I'm sure they're both hungry for a win here today, but there's going to be many winners out here. We've got a lot of good racers left in the race right now, many winners, different classes, and the one that's really not surprising me, but I mean making like what you said, showing that he does have the guts to take this thing for the 2.5 hours is Wheel Damage. Very impressive with his driving today.
Especially taking the lowest class car, not necessarily lowest, but slowest class car in here, and just running with it.
Yeah.
Very commendable.
Yes.
He's doing a phenomenal job. I bet he's probably even still running with 0 incidents.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen him hit anything out there today. I've been keeping it clean all day. So these guys go past Darren Kewen and it looks like Scott Fosbender. So those two getting put down another lap, and they'll be coming up on somebody else up front here. I can't see who that is.
Darren, I believe. Could be Darren if I remember correctly.
I thought they just passed Darren, but maybe you're right. I'm not sure. We'll see here.
That might be Wheel Damage.
Yep, Wheel Damage coming up on him really fast here and passing him up. Inches away Van was. Wow. But yeah, they're trying to they're reeling in. I think what the draft is really reeling them in up there on Nicholas Davis, which he's not that far ahead of these two. But that he's going to be a lap down. Yeah, that'll put him a lap down when they go by him. But he's still trying to get around this track to catch up to these guys. I mean, he's almost a lap behind them now.
Yeah, that's with some draft, even side draft, you can keep on going really fast. But once you get out there by yourself, you lose quite a lot.
Yeah, with
especially on the back stretch where that wind kicks in, you need that draft to keep maintain.
Yeah, with Lewis Van and Layla here running nose to tail like they are. Of course, Layla, with Lewis blinking, Layla's really not getting a whole lot of draft on him when he's blinking. So, but they are reeling him in.
Well, the dynamics of the draft is still there. It's just visually he disappears and comes back.
Right.
So you can still. We were testing that out as well over the week, and even with him blinking that, or actually, I purposely made myself blink by bumping up my stream to max bit rate and that, just so that my internet was kind of wonky. And the draft will still pull if the vehicle's theoretically still there, unless it's gone for quite a few seconds, and at that point it'll automatically disconnect you. So.
Right.
They'll catch draft even though the vehicle is blinking around. It makes it a bit more unpredictable to stay in the optimal spot for draft because, of course, the vehicle is bouncing around.
Lewis out here dancing all over the place trying to break that draft so Layla can't catch him, but she's hanging right onto him pretty tight.
Another nice pass from wheel damage, or pass by wheel damage, I should say.
Right.
Should be coming up to Scott and Darren here right away. Or wait, no, that's Nicholas that they're coming up on.
Nicholas Davis next.
Yeah.
They've been reeling him in for quite a few laps now.
Not too far away though.
They're gonna,
they're coming up on the BMWs.
Yep.
There they go.
Passes them really well.
Yeah.
But they're trying to reel in Scott, but he's just up there right now, just kind of riding along. Let's I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get up here with Nicholas, and we'll kind of keep an eye on. He's 41.9 seconds behind them, which puts him just about 3 seconds ahead of them. So, but we're going to watch here. Looking back.
I'm going to go from the rear.
Yeah, looking back toward them to see how much further they are behind him. And they are really coming like gangbusters.
Oh yeah, I pop mine onto the rear chase view so that it kind of keeps an eye on him where he is on the track and keeps an eye on them. And yeah, they're coming up on him pretty good.
So that just kind of shows you how the draft plays here, where Nicholas out here, nobody to draft with right now, and those two drafting, they're probably about 3 mile an hour faster than he is on the track right now. So, just in a few short miles, they can reel him in and pass him easily.
Yeah, 2 to 3 mile an hour difference. I'm showing here about 5 km/h difference between the speeds for them, so yeah.
And wheel damage does get by Jimmy Eifling to move into 6th overall.
Just squeaked her by.
Uh-oh. Layla is on pit road. Layla coming down pit road, breaking away from Lewis. So I'm wondering if Lewis is not going to have to come down pit road. Let's see if she just takes a splash of gas and go here, but and that's going to put her.
Right now.
She's changing front tires. Topping off with fuel, and she's out of there.
Gone.
But that's
I don't
gonna.
know if she took any tires though. I didn't see the vehicle move any. It just wiggled.
That's going to put her on about the same keel as Nicholas Davis. Those two are going to get together. Lewis is going to be out there all by himself. So she comes out.
He hasn't hit it yet.
She comes out not far ahead of Nicholas. So I'm sure we'll see those two together. And Lewis yet to come down pit road.
And I think, oh no, he was just wobbling there a bit. Gonna keep an eye on Lewis to see if and when he goes down pits.
Roger that.
If I remember correctly, he has not gone down there yet.
Nicholas running about 4.5 seconds behind Layla. Darren Kewen in fourth, top of his class right now in the BMW class. Scott Fosbender in fifth, a couple laps down further than Darren is, running in the fifth spot, second in his class, doing a good job. And Wheel Damage still hanging in there, sixth overall, only one in his class in the VW Jetta, and doing a super job out here. Wake up, Wheel Damage. Wake up, buddy. It's time to get done with this race here. 28 minutes left. You can hang in there for 28 more minutes. Okay, we're going to get up to our leader here, Lewis, to see when he is going to come down pit road. I believe we're going to see him come down at least for a splash and go.
Just past the pit lane again. Like he's coming up on Nicholas now. Like Nicholas is trying to make sure he doesn't catch the draft on him.
Right. But if he can play his cards right, come down pit road, top that tank off, he might be able to get back out ahead of these guys, and it might put at least two of them back together. Maybe him and Nicholas, or maybe him and Layla back together.
Passes the pits again. Got to be running pretty low there.
Well, unless he knows something we don't. But Layla 30.
Mind you, that being said, he may have started running some fuel mapping. That F1 has, I think, 10 or 11 different levels of fuel mapping that you can run.
Layla is 38.7 seconds behind him. Second in her class. Second in her class today. Man, she's doing a super good job out here. I know she'd probably like to win this. It's all going to be based on whether Lewis Van's going to have to come down pit road or not. We're going to keep an eye on that.
Well, he should have had to. Did he come down once already? Because those Williams should have had to come in at least twice for this race, unless they're running some major fuel mapping.
Well, I don't know, because with him blinking, it kind of messes up IRTBO.
Yeah, that's true.
And it shows he's been down pit road twice, but I don't know. Layla's been on pit road 4 times, and Nicholas Davis has been on pit road 3 times.
Yeah, that's where I kind of... The IRTVO is kind of goofy there, because I have mine open and it's showing that Layla's only been in there once. Scott Fassbender's been in there 9.
Okay, now Nicholas is working with Lewis Van, and that's going to pull them up to Layla. So that's going to put Nicholas and Layla together. And if Lewis pits, boy, this could get interesting come down to the end of this thing.
Oh, yeah. So if you're going to keep an eye up on those guys, I'm going to go back down to Darren and see how that little battle is going with them.
Yeah, they're not on the same lap, but you know, they're probably drafting together, and they're probably just staying right there. They're going to finish 4th and 5th. Ooh, that was a little scary right there. Lewis Van got down on the apron, and boy, when he pulled it back up onto the track, he got a little wiggly.
Yeah. Them F1s are one of the few that can actually stay down on the apron, but if you catch the very inside of the apron, it gets a little squirrely. Looks like Darren and Scott are about to pass wheel damage here.
And Nicholas and Lewis here are catching Layla.
Nice clean pass by Darren and Scott around wheel damage.
So not many cars left out of here today, but been pretty interesting how these guys have picked up a few places here, and the one that's been really great here to watch is Wheel Damage doing a super job in that VW. Hope he's awake. He's got that thing on cruise control out there. I think he's got one of them Google cars that drives by itself. You just put a brick on the gas pedal and you're good.
Yep, pretty much.
It's like Google take over.
I've been watching his speed in it. There's not even a 3 km/h fluctuation in his speed anywhere around the track. So he's probably just on the rev limiter and just sitting there.
Yep. Alright, so let's see, not far. Layla's still staying out there pretty good, though. She's 39 seconds behind the leader, but we don't know. Well, I don't know if Lewis is going to be able to make it the rest of the way or not. Kind of try to keep an eye on him and see if he does come down pit road.
I'm keeping a close eye on him just in case. I'm kind of curious if he's going to be able to last it or if he is going to need to go into pits. I think he's going to need to go into pits at least one more time. But never know, depends on the fuel mapping. If he's already ahead by good 30-40 seconds, might just throw it into a fuel map and hope that he has enough to last the rest of the race.
Well, he may have done some testing on that to see how many laps he could get. And like you said, with the fuel mapping and everything, and if that does come into play, he may try it, may just push his luck, and, you know, might work out for him.
What I found too, even when I was practicing, is there's quite a lot of the track where you're bouncing off the rev limiter anyways. So if you bump up the fuel map so that you're at full power on the areas where you would normally be slowing down, then as soon as you get close to that rev limiter, drop down the fuel map, you don't lose any speed. You're at the exact same speed as you would be anyways, but you're dropping the fuel map down, so you can save quite a lot of fuel by doing that. Yep. It involves a lot of adjust up, adjust down, adjust up every lap, but that might also be another ploy to help keep your attention going. Might be just enough to be able to not make that last pit stop.
You know, Layla, she's out here all by herself, nobody to draft with, and she just seems to be hanging right there, not really losing any ground to them. I thought maybe they'd be gaining on her, but they're not. So that could be a thing right there that telling you that Lewis has backed off that.
Oh, what happened there?
What?
Looks like Lewis had some issues there. Somebody was sideways. I'm just going to look back.
Back here.
Lewis is now in pit row, but it looks like he had a little bit of a squirrely entrance there.
Yeah, I'm right on him right now. We'll watch this.
Yeah, just as he was slowing down for the pits, it looks like he hit the gas to get going again and ended up smacking the wall pretty good. He is in pit row right now.
Oh yeah, there he did. He did spin.
That might cost him with some damage. He's out now, though.
All right, we'll get back up here
I wonder
live.
how much that damage is going to affect him, though.
Yeah, boy, it's going to put him back in third, and Layla going to be out front now. So Nicholas in second, 5.4 seconds behind Layla, and Lewis is 18 seconds behind Layla. So these guys may have they've got enough fuel to make it now, I believe.
Doesn't look like there's much damage to Lewis's car, so maybe that little smuck didn't really do much.
Yeah, I don't think he hit it real hard, just a light damage, but wow, just enough that it cost him that position. So Layla out front. Nicholas back here 5.7 seconds behind her. Lewis Van 19 seconds behind her. Darren Kewen in fourth, top of his class in the BMW. Been staying up there all day long, doing a great job. Scott Fosbender in fifth, but he has many more laps down than Darren. But those two have been riding right together there. Might as well stay in the draft and keep it up as fast as you can. And Wheel Damage back here in sixth, all by himself in the VW Jetta. Top of his class will win the VW class today, so great job by him.
As it stands right now, because of our league ruling of you have to complete 50% of the overall lap leaders to qualify for points, that means Jimmy is the last person on the field. Well, that's not even in the on track right now, but he's the last person that's still qualifying for points. Bill Gilbert did not complete enough laps, and everybody else, Marcus and myself, had not completed enough laps to be able to qualify for points. So that's definitely going to help Jimmy right now for points, especially in this series with us two battling for a point lead. If he can manage to keep it off for a little bit longer and these guys not make too many more laps, he might be able to stick in it. I'm just going to double check here. He has completed 98 laps. So that means as long as the leaders don't go past 196 laps, Jimmy will still be in the points.
Very good.
They're sitting at 177, probably 178, so that means they only got 18 laps before they surpass that. Depending, we're getting pretty close. How much longer do you have showing on the race timer there?
17 minutes, and they could get by that because they're turning 44-second laps.
Yeah, they most likely will, especially since the white flag does not come out until after your timer clicks over to 0.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one more lap after that, so
Right.
if they're doing sub 1 minute laps, I think Jimmy might actually be bumped out of the points.
Right. Yep.
Unless he pops back out on track and gets a few more laps in.
But Layla out here just cruising. Man, I can't believe the way it's turned out. And now Nicholas 6.4 seconds behind Layla. Layla's just got the hammer down. She's not looking back. She's looking for this win today. It'd be great to see her in victory lane, but these guys really trying to chase her down, and if she can hold that thing together, keep it up there, she should be able to pull off the win here today.
She was really fast last night in the Mustangs, and she took the win from me last night, so I wouldn't doubt it, especially since she has much more experience on the ovals than most of the other league members here.
Right.
I wouldn't doubt it if she manages to hold on to that.
Well, she's doing a great job of it. With only coming down to 15 minutes left in this race. And she is definitely pulling away from Nicholas. Get back up there to Nicholas. Yeah, he's hanging right about 6.4 seconds behind her. But she is picking up a few hundredths of a second here and there. Yeah, there he's 6.5 seconds behind her. So she and it's all about the line too, and it could be how she's got her car set up for speed. She's not worried about fuel right now.
Well, from What I heard is everybody that's in the F1 is using the exact same setup today.
Okay.
Because everybody's been working on the setup with each other, and everybody kind of locked onto this one, and they're comfortable with it. So I believe everybody in the F1 is using the exact same setup. The BMWs, don't think they're using the same setup, but I do know that us and the Miatas were using the same setup as well. I'm just going to pop into the sim here and see if I can get a hold of Jimmy, because I do notice he's still registered and in the sim, but he's not on track, so I'm going to let him know that he might need to do a few more to keep in the points.
Alright, okay. Alright, so now Nicholas back here almost 6.7 seconds behind her, so Layla has got the hammer down and definitely pulling away from Nicholas. Lewis back here 19 seconds behind her. Darren Kewen in fourth, top of his class in the BMW. Been up there all day, not looking back. Scott Fosbender in fifth, second in his class. And Wheel Damage, the last one out on the track here in the VW Jetta, running sixth overall, top of his class, of course. So he will get a win here today in his class as well. Layla just being smooth here, coming to 13 minutes left in the race, folks. She's got 36 laps led. Not enough to beat Lewis up there. Lewis has got 115 laps led. And Nicholas with 22. Those three have been the only leaders out there. We did have one caution earlier. And just to kind of show you the stats here, we've had 27 lead changes today, which is pretty awesome. Nicholas still 7.5 seconds behind Layla now, so he has lost a ton of ground to her, but still going to finish second in his class in the F1. Very good run for Nicholas today, newcomer to the league, and coming out here showing his stuff today to bring it home second. It's going to be pretty awesome.
And I'm back. I tried getting a hold of him.
No answer.
Nobody can seem to get a hold of Jimmy, so I guess Jimmy's away from the computer and will be running out of contention here in 10 more laps once Leela hits 196 laps.
Very good. Okay. Well, I'm sure she's going to...
A couple of the guys in the sim were trying to get his attention. I was trying to both text but can't get a hold of him, and he's not in TeamSpeak, so we can't get a hold of him there either. Oh well. We tried our best.
That's it.
I think what he was planning on doing, just so that he wouldn't rack up any incidents, is run half the race and then stop, but didn't calculate enough laps to take into consideration the... What in the world?
What?
I am having errors on my...
All right, Darren back here still plugging away in the BMW, running fourth. First in his class. Fourth overall. They come up on wheel damage and have to go around wheel damage. And F1 come up by him too. Nicholas, man, they had to make it 3 wide going down coming out of turn 2.
My internet just kicked me out of the race.
Oh.
I'm really getting sick and tired of that. Once a week, it's once a week lately that this has been happening to me. It's always on the weekends.
Fosbender in 5th, second in his class in the BMW. And wheel damage back here. Let's get back up to the front, and I want to see how much more ground Nicholas has lost to Layla. Oh my gosh, he's back to 8.4 seconds behind her. So he has lost more ground yet. And then going back here to Lewis. Lewis 11 seconds behind Nicholas. So highly doubt he's going to get enough draft to get up there. But here we are coming down to 8 minutes left in the race. And Layla leading. Leading by about 8.6 seconds now. Good clean pass on wheel damage right there. That was some of the best driving you're seeing right now by these guys and ladies. I don't want to forget the ladies. Putting on a pretty doggone good show out here. And caution is out.
Ah, jeez.
Oh, looks like Nicholas. Oh no, what happened to Nicholas here? Let's go back to Nicholas and see what happened. I don't know what happened here.
I won't even be able to see it because I'm still not even logged back in.
Well, we're right on him right now, waiting to see exactly what happened to him. Oh, here. He come up on wheel damage. It was down on the apron, maybe. And when he come back up on, it looks like he didn't hit it just right and got loose. Oh, man, and he tried to steer out of it. I don't think he's going to hit anything here. No, he didn't hit anything. Thank God. If that brings a caution out. And this is
will this race end under caution?
No, well, you know, it just might. It just might. 6 minutes left. No, they'll get a lap or two.
Well, one nice thing.
Do what? Oh yeah, Layla don't like that. She had such a lead out front there. Layla's not happy about that. She had such a lead over them guys. Now Lewis Van's going to be right up there to challenge her for this win. And wow, I'm not sure, but I think maybe she might be just a lap too far ahead or something here. I'm not really sure. That's going to allow
one bonus about. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the one bonus about this last caution is it might just keep Jimmy in the running.
Yeah, true.
Laps did he have?
Yeah, I think they're probably going to have about a one-lap shootout here, time-wise. Although it does take quite a little while to go around this track, and we're probably going to be 2 to 3 laps until they get the one to go. So I don't know. It's going to be too hard to tell. It's hard to tell with the time on it. It's hard for me to judge that. It does take quite a while to go around here under caution. And as you can see, it's chewing the clock right up pretty fast. Down to 4 minutes left in the race. I highly doubt we're going to get back to green. Highly doubt it. So Layla could pull off the win here regardless. I know she wasn't happy about that. She put a little explicit in Twitch there to let us know.
Yeah.
She's not happy about this, and I don't blame her. But it was just an unfortunate thing there. The Nicholas passing on the low side underneath right there in the tri-oval to go by wheel damage, and just lost it when he come back up on the track. And it happens. I mean, they've been doing it all day. They've been passing on the low side, but right in that tri-oval, it can be a little tricky. Wheel damage held his line, and Nicholas tried to go underneath him right there in the tri-oval. And when he come up on that yellow line is pretty wide, and the transition from the apron to the track is quite a little bit, and he just got a little bit squirrely there and tried to save it, but no dice.
Hello.
One to green at the stripe, she says, so they are going to get one lap. They're probably going to get about one lap here to finish this up, so she's going to have to keep this ahead of Louis Van, and he's kind of mired back in the field. Well, he's actually back there behind third place Nicholas. Nicholas one lap down now. So I don't know. We're going to have to see if Louis can get that up there and challenge her. She's going to fight that as hard as she can, I'm sure. And, she's pretty fast up there by herself. Now, they don't have to go on green, do they? Dog? Well, it looks like Dog has fallen out. He has completely fallen out of TeamSpeak here, so I don't know. But I'm not sure. I don't think they have to wait to go on green. I think they can go at any time. And if that's the case, Layla could just get one heck of a restart right here, and Louis may not be able to catch her. All right, it's going to be a one-lap shootout here, folks. So who's going to win this? Man, this is going to get nuts right here. Woo, this is going to get crazy. Hang on to it, Layla. Do a good job, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Buddy. Come on, Layla. Let's see you bring that to victory lane today. Come on. Pace car's off. We're going green. She's holding them back, holding them back, holding them back. We're waiting. They're tightening it up here before they get to the line. And green is out. Nobody spins the tires. Layla gets out to a really good start. Oh, and here comes Louis up on the high side trying to get a run on her. They're probably going to get the one to go right here. Oh my God, oh man. They split her right down the middle, and man, I'm telling you what, they're going to get the white flag right here in just a minute. Is Layla got enough to bring this to the win? She's up on the high side trying. Boy, I'll tell you what, Louis Van is trying to put the blocks under. The white flag is out. One more lap around here. Can she do it? Lewis Van just really, really strong right now. She is trying to keep it off of him by trying to stay in his draft. Oh, and she's touching him. He's blinking. Man. She pulls out down the backstretch. They touch, or almost touch. Oh, they're going to get together again. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't wreck each other. Don't wreck each other. Oh, and he's blinking again. Can't she do it? It's coming to the line here. I don't know. She takes it down to the low side. Lewis tries to put the block on her. They're coming to the line. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to get it or not. Oh, man, Lewis Van's going to win it here today. Oh, my.
That was close.
Whew.
That was real close.
I'll tell you what, I was about breaking out into a sweat right there, I'm telling you.
I
Whew.
heard that.
That was an awesome finish. I don't know how he kept it ahead of her.
And it looks like with that caution, it actually made him slow down enough that Jimmy will still be in the running for points.
Very good. Well, I don't know. I think Layla's going to be upset about this finish, but whew, wow, what a finish.
I'm going to jump into the other room and let them know that you're going to come down for
Okay.
interviews here, and I'll let you run through everything first.
All right, I'll be there in just 1 minute. Okay, let's run down through the results real quick here while they're getting ready. Okay, Lewis Van, of course, our winner, top of his class in the F1. Layla Wilson, second in the F1, finishes second in her class. Nicholas Davis, 1 lap down, finishes third in his class in the F1. Darren Kuhn comes home fourth, top of his class in the BMW. Scott Fosbender in fifth in the BMW. Wheel Damage, great run for Wheel Damage today. Congratulations to him winning his class today with the VW, doing a heck of a job. Jimmy Eifling coming in seventh, and I believe that puts him in third in his class. Bill Gilbert finishing 8th, Marcus Kramer 9th, and Dog finishing 10th. A lot of damage on those cars in the back, could not finish the race. But unfortunate for them. But good job for Lewis, and I hope we can get a chance. I'm going to go up there, and we're going to talk with these guys here, and ladies, and find out exactly what happened to them.
Lee as well.
All right. Lewis. Wow, great win out there today. Congratulations. Even though you were blinking and Layla was having a hard time getting by you, trying to stay in your draft and get by you, but tell us about that last lap, because you know if that caution wouldn't have come out, you weren't going to win there, buddy.
Well, I was at the absolute seated my pants on that last lap. Layla was all over the place. She was bumping me. You know, I was trying to get right down on the apron to keep her behind me. It was really close, really good racing.
Tell us about that last pit stop there, because we seen you slide into pit road. What happened? Did the wheels just lock up on you? Did you misjudge your speed, or what happened there?
Well, that was possibly the moment when I went, oh God, I've given the race up, because I was making good time on Layla after the first set of pit stops. But what happened is I came into pit road, got it down to speed, and well, I put it into first and got on the gas to speed back up to pit speed because I'd slowed down too much gas, and around it went. Then of course, unsafe entry, I had to sit there for 15 seconds, which seemed like an eternity.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
Got back out there and I won somehow.
Well, I'll tell you what, great win. And like I said, that was one heck of a battle that you guys were putting on. Now, coming off of last week, Lewis, I wanted to talk to you about that. Last week, you had a very bad finish, and you come home the winner here today. Does that make you feel a little bit better about the run today that you had?
It makes me feel, well, it's really, really good, especially after the last few weeks have been so awful. I've had 2 DNFs in the last two races, and to come out here and to win it, whew, what a feeling. Yeah,
I'll bet. All right, well, thanks for talking with us, Lewis, and you want to give a shout out to anybody that might be watching?
Oh, really, to everyone who put on such a good race. I'm I'm sorry to Nick earlier on in the race. I bumped my pit speed limiter and that kind of put him off on the restart. I didn't get it quite right off the first restart, which upset Marcus and ultimately probably put him out of the race. I just want to thank Michelle and the guys for putting the league on. That's pretty much it. Thanks for the broadcast as well.
All right, Lewis. Thank you very much. All right, let's get to Layla. Layla, you come home second today. Congratulations to you, but in your class. But tell us about them last couple of laps. I know you were upset about that caution coming out, but tell us about it.
Well, the part I can talk about is I missed a shift coming out of turn 2, and as soon as I missed that shift, the race was over. It's very difficult to see. You know, for the rest of the race, I really couldn't see what was going on. So, just, you know, mistakes, missing shifts.
Well, you were out there by about 8.5 seconds ahead of Nicholas, and it looked like you had the win in the bag easily. And I know you were upset about that caution, and we'll talk to Nicholas here in a little bit. But it looked like he just made a mistake there and tried to pass wheel damage on right in the tri-oval, and but we'll find out from him what happened there. But you had a great race out there today, Layla. It looked like a lot of fun. You guys mixing it up, a lot of lead changes. I was just going to look real quick. 28 lead changes in this race today, so that's pretty amazing. 2 cautions. Now, I know we don't usually have cautions in road courses, and today you ran an oval, and you're into the ovals probably a lot more than these other guys. 2 cautions in is not that bad in as many laps as you guys turned today.
No, I suppose not. I mean, one factor that's in play there is there's about, 3, 4 of us per class, and that means we can usually manage ourselves pretty well. And it looked like every class I went by, everybody was kind of running in formation. There was a lot of communication. You don't really get that so much when you got, 30, 40 cars in the same class all circulating at once. So this definitely is a bit of a cleaner form of racing. It's a little bit frightening at times, but,
Well, very good race out there today, Layla. I highly commend you for the job that you did today. You had the win in the bag, and man, I feel bad for you. I really feel bad for you. I mean, it was your race to win, and I was really hoping to talk to you in victory lane today. But great race, Layla, and you got anybody you want to thank?
Just you guys for putting on the broadcast and putting on the league and hanging out and all that.
All right. Well, very good job out there today, and thank you very much. All right, let's get down here. Nicholas. Nicholas, you come in third today. You're finished actually a lap down. Tell us about your race, and tell us what happened in the tri-oval there when you went to go buy wheel damage.
When I went to go buy wheel damage, I just went to the inside that time, just trying to gain every little tenth and second that I could get on Layla. I was having some pedal issues to where it wouldn't quite let me get to full throttle. So it was pretty frustrating losing that, so tried making it up and ultimately kind of screwed her, which I'm very sorry for.
Well, that's racing, and you just never know. She had you by 8.5 seconds. I think it was about where she had you when that caution come out. And you were losing a lot of ground to her. Now, were you out there trying to save fuel? Did you have it, kind of tuned back a little bit, or did you have it tuned up and hammered down?
I had it hammered down, but I had totally miscalculated everything, so I wouldn't have made it on fuel. So it was pretty hard.
Yeah, well, when you guys were up there racing together, mixing it up, did you have a lot of fun? I mean, that's what it's all about. Out here having fun. Did you have a good time?
Oh yeah, it was great. Nothing you can beat is that. I mean, for 99% of the race, I'd say we were all together, bunched up.
Yeah, it's you definitely got to run together in your class. You can't draft with somebody that was in another class, because you are obviously the fastest ones out there. But great race by you today, Nicholas. You put on a heck of a show up there, racing with Layla and Lewis. So congratulations on your third place in your class today. And you got anybody you want to give a shout out to?
You for broadcasting and doing such a good job, and Dog mostly. He pretty much dedicates most of his time to this. It wouldn't be here for without him.
Okay, all right. Thanks for talking with us, buddy.
All right.
Okay, Darren, you come in the top of your class in the BMW today. You know, kind of an odd thing. We don't know exactly what happened to Jimmy Eifling, but you come in top of your class today. How's that make you feel?
Oh, it's pretty good there, Rudy. It was, you know, a lot of fun with the three of us when we were running there for a while, and pretty smooth sailing. Just some tight moments there when you go to pass the slower cars and the F1s are coming around. We really had to watch and not to be sticking out too far.
Oh yeah, definitely. I seen you guys went 3 wide there. The one time the F1s were clear out against the wall, and you guys were up the middle, and the slower cars right on the low line. But I'll tell you what, you guys did awesome with it. You dealt with it very, very clean. A lot of good, clean racing out there. You know, a couple times I seen the fast cars come up on a slower car and had to check up, you know, because somebody was on the outside or everything. But great racing by everybody out there today. You come in top of your class, and congratulations to you for that. You want to give a shout out or a thank you to anybody?
Well, I just want to thank Jimmy and Scott for the great, tight, close racing. I mean, nobody wants to get an X on them, and you want to still stay tight in that draft. So it was a good job done by everybody. And once in a while, I was poking out for some clean air, just watching the oil temps climbing a bit. And just great racing by everyone on the track. Thank you to Michelle for all his hard work behind the scenes, and the other drivers out there, and yourself for the broadcast, and just a great day out there on the track.
All right. Thanks a lot there, Darren, for talking with us. And again, congratulations on your win today in your class. Good job.
Thanks, Rudy.
Okay, wheel damage, saving the best for last, I think. I was talking to you in chat. How can you text and drive?
Yeah, hello, Rudy. I had 2 sticky moments during the race. The first sticky moment was trying to find something heavy to stick the accelerator pedal down.
Yeah.
And the other sticky moment was trying to do a smiley face typing to you on Twitch chat.
Oh, yeah.
Below the yellow line. But yeah, thanks for keeping me entertained.
Well, we were just trying to keep you awake, you know, because it had to have been awful boring. But, you know, you win your class today. Obviously, you were the only one out there in the VW. How did the VW run for you today? Did you have any problems whatsoever with it?
No, solid German engineering there, Rudy. Not a problem. Just didn't miss a beat.
Very good, very good. I mean, I know
Go ahead.
Sorry,
I must say the other drivers did a great job in keeping an eye out of the road to look out for me.
Yeah, we were riding on board with you a couple times there, which I'm sure you probably heard us in Twitch. Riding on board with you when the F1s went by you, man, that's got to be scary. You're cruising around there about 135 mile an hour, and one goes by you at over 200. Man, that's got to be a little scary.
Oh, absolutely. When one goes left and one goes right, and
Yeah,
yeah, it makes you think.
Yeah, you're kind of like the meat in the middle of the sandwich, you know. So, but
Absolutely.
But great run for you today out there, Will Damage. You finished top of your class, and how's that make you feel running as well as you did today?
Yeah, great. Yeah, looking forward, to be honest, to going back to road though. But yeah, it was a nice break from the usual stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Are you going to race tonight?
No, unfortunately, I'm quite a few hours ahead of most of you chaps, so
Oh.
I'll be in bed with my nice hat and my teddy bear.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, you're clear across on the other side of the planet from us, so. But great run out there today, Will Damage, and you want to give a shout out to anybody else?
Only usual guys, Michelle, your good self, and a couple of characters in my Twitch chat that kept me amused, Rock Dodger and Tonka2 Freak, so a shout out to them too for keeping me awake.
All right, good job out there. Yeah, it had to have been tough on all the drivers out there today. Wanted to talk to Dog last here. Dog, you still there?
Oh yeah, always.
Okay, I know you had some issues, and maybe you could explain to all the viewers what kind of issues you had today. After the wreck.
Well, after the wreck, the only issue that I really had was, for some reason, my internet lately has been having issues where it'll randomly drop on me. And unfortunately, it seems to happen only on the weekends, which is getting really frustrating because that's when we run our main races. And most of the time, it seems to be during this morning broadcast race, which makes it even more frustrating. So, obviously, once this is done, I'm going to be making a call to my ISP again and saying, look, something has to be done, because this is getting real frustrating. I'm paying for the top level internet and I'm not getting proper service, so it's just something that I have to deal with my ISP, and that's about the extent of it. Otherwise, race wise, the race went by really great. It was a lot of good action all over the place, very courteous for the most part everywhere else. Like I was saying at the tail end of the broadcast there, in a way it's kind of good that that last final caution came out, because it's the only thing that kept Jimmy Eifling in the running for points. Otherwise they would have surpassed his laps and he would have not been able to maintain his spot in the 50% of the overall leader's laps. So with our league we do have that rule that in order to qualify for points you have to be in the server and show up as running in the race results screen and have a minimum of 50% of the overall leader's laps. Just barely squeaked by with about a lap to spare, only because of that last caution that came out, so he lucked out that way.
Very good, very good. Well, that was going to be my next question, but thank you for telling us, because that was kind of a concern, and I'm sure probably Jimmy was a little bit concerned about if he's watching, or he may want to know later, maybe when he watches the broadcast, if he made it, and now he can catch it at the end where you explain to him that yes, he did make it for the points. So very important for the points here today.
Yeah, and it was, like I said, it was very close. Like with how he made 99 laps, and double that is 198 laps. And Lewis Van cleared the checker flag with 197 laps. So one more lap would have been the finisher for him.
Oh man!
So that 3 laps of caution at the tail end is the only thing that saved him.
Very good. All right, well, that'll wrap it up for today then. Unless you got anything else you want to throw out there, Doug, we'll wrap it up.
Not much. I just want to let everybody know that we will be obviously doing our car rotation thing at the end of the evening here, and we will be hosting up practice sessions all week, Monday through Friday, as usual, with the new car lineup. We will be running at Circuit of the Americas on their full course for next week. We'll be hosting the 2 practice sessions every day for the weekdays, and then running these races on the weekend as usual. So definitely, anybody interested in running on COTA there with our new lineup of vehicles, definitely feel free to join in on the practice sessions. If you like how the races are ran, definitely feel free to join in. This race we had no less than 4 new people to the league that jumped in. It's always good to have more. We're always looking for more people to fill these grids. 10 people racing today, maybe next week we'll have 15. Come on in.
Very good, very good. All right, well, thanks for tuning in here on MaxSpeedTV on Twitch, and we will see you tonight on YouTube for another broadcast on YouTube. So follow us there on YouTube at youtube.com/MaxSpeedTV1. All right, and we will see you tonight, hopefully.